Hey, thanks so much for letting your curiosity get the best of you and taking a second to check out this video. I just want to make sure you're empowered with the right information to help you make the best decision in this market. And honestly, in the interest of providing a great service to what I consider to be high quality prospective clients, I want to make sure I get all that information over to you in the most efficient way possible. And hopefully you see that it's actually pretty unique. I try not to be pushy. I hate cold calling people as much as you hate getting the calls. I'm sure you're already getting a ton of that already. I found that just packaging the information in this format has actually gotten me some great response and helped me stand out. So this is really what I would be saying to you if we were face to face in those boring hour and a half long presentations. I'm sure if you've been talking to other agents, they've already been clamoring to come to your house and kind of corner you into signing with them. When I believe the truth is, we can get most of that information to you without ever stepping foot in the home, and honestly in under an hour, and that's what I've done here. So this way you can pause, rewind, take notes, for questions later, and really digest this information in a way that's comfortable for you, and you get rid of some of that awkwardness, you know what I mean? So who am I? I'm Solomon Gill with Your Maryland Lifestyle through Keller Williams Realty Center. I'm not gonna bore you with how big of a brokerage we are, how many agents we have, how many units we move, or anything like that. The truth of the matter is every agent has to have a brokerage, and we usually go under one of the big guys. So in that way, we're all the same. We also have access to a ton of the same technology. So it's just who can use it, who can't, who can leverage it to help you, and who decides to even use it at all. So there's not much of a difference there. Not even experience to me sets us apart in any measurable degree, especially if you've been an agent in this market and you've had to compete on the buyer side with all of those offers you've had to write, or handle multiple agents and dozens of multiple offer situations on the seller side. I believe you're more than equipped, right? I like to say we're already battle tested. So really, I'm here to set myself apart from most of the agents you may talk to. I've decided to pursue real estate a little more than 3 years ago, part-time, as I was already involved in the sales industry, but I loved it so much I had to go full-time. So you can imagine there were plenty of challenges with my timing, of course, and limited homes that were for sale, limited inventory. So I started to realize I need to offer a service to make sure I could compete in such a tough market. Now, I have a digital marketing background, and I decided to apply that to the real estate market and began to have a good bit of success off market with this strategy. This target marketing approach actually was helping me work off market deals as there weren't a lot of homes on market, and there was a lot of competition for anything that was on market. So it was really helping me get buyers and sellers together off market, because as long as the price was right and the home was in the right condition, at that time you didn't even really need to list the home. And I'm a big sports fan and I'm competitive, so it was becoming frustrating not being able to get in the game in that old way, in that cold calling, door knocking way. So when I applied this new marketing strategy for homes off market, I felt like Steph Curry, being able to just shoot from anywhere and just being unguardable, because now I can kind of cherry pick those homes from my buyers and get in front of sellers before they decide to list, and actually match them up together, and honestly not have to compete and get these transactions done under terms where both parties already agree on, which is very powerful in such a competitive market. Now, in the process of kind of honing those target marketing skills for real estate, I absolutely snagged some homes on market. And one of those I love to illustrate is for my out-of-state clients that I never even saw face-to-face until closing day, because I'm big on digital marketing. I do everything almost exclusively digitally. So I didn't even need to be in front of them to close them as clients or to get most of this transaction done. And that's just the power of the new way this real estate is going in this new market. So, we were 1 out of 40 offers, but because we were first in our direct marketing, our direct mail, our digital marketing, our retargeting methods actually went to the buyer because they were on social media and things like that. They were so intrigued, they had the listing agent reach out to me, and we were able to beat 40 other offers, okay? And I'm very strong when we do get to the negotiation table. So we also got inspections done and a few other things taken care of, again, at a time when sellers had every bit of leverage and could sell any home as is. Now, at the closing table, their agent let my team lead know how impressed he was with the level of service I provided on that buyer side, that my team lead came to me and suggested that I find a way to leverage this for all of my clients, not knowing that that's how I was getting to the closing table off market. So it was a light bulb for him, but for me, it was already in the process for my sellers. And it's actually a part of how I got in front of you as a seller, right? Now, the market has already shifted. And now, not just any agent can sell a home. It's going to actually take some specific skill sets and an understanding of exposure, pricing, and marketing, right? And I would actually say most importantly, marketing. If you've been paying attention to your local market, you can see that homes are going on the market probably at the higher end of their price range. And some of them are sitting, 10 to 21 days before they get any offer. And most of them will have had to reduce their price once or twice over that time, maybe even more over that time period. So that for us, that's a clear indication of a cooling of the market and a different type of buyer being in the market, right? It will really be important that everyone I speak to kind of understands that, right? And the way to overcome this is with proper timing and expert marketing. It's not just enough, anymore just to list your home on the MLS. You need to get your home in front of the most opportune buyers who will then raise their hand and say, oh man, I've been waiting for this home in particular, right? So before we get into that, that's the fun part. I just want to give you some facts about the market, a couple of tidbits, that's all, because the only reason I even send these type of videos over first and just give you my listing presentation is that I know I can get the money you want at the closing table, even though you missed the peak selling market, and we can start scheduling immediately or on any timeline you would like. Now, that may sound bold to you, or it might sound like that same list your home with me junk that's been stalking your mailbox or your phone and your social media, right? But I want to assure you, actually, I can assure you, I'm only interested in selling your home and working in win-win situations, right? Listing your home and selling your home are different. Now, I'm positive if you stick around to the end of this video, you will be very confident in going forward with me as your listing agent, right? Again, not because of my brokerage or how many years I've been doing this or what other people say, right? But simply because I understand this current market and how to sell your home in a digital space, right? I came in with this method at this perfect time and it's really been helping out. Now, the old school way of selling homes is gone and the old market is dead. Most sellers just don't know it yet, and most agents as well. That's why homes are sitting and things like that. Now, you need a fresh, new, efficient way to get your home in front of people. And I understand the digital space and the fact that your next buyer is looking right there in their phone for their home, right? For your home. Now, before we get into the details, I do want to assure you I know a little bit about what's going on in the real estate market. So here's a few facts you need to know. First of all, the market is getting ready to adjust again, according to Lawrence June, the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. Now, waiting a year or two to sell could very well mean your home may be worth $30,000 to $50,000 or more less than it is today. The home is more than likely one of the nicest homes in the neighborhood. And if you've been thinking of selling, you probably should have done so 3 to 6 months ago. That's just the facts, right? That was the best time to sell. But the next best time to sell is today. If you're going to sell your home, closing on it soon will likely be the best way for you to get the most amount of money with the least amount of hassle, right? Now, that's not the best information you wanted to hear, especially from, someone who's trying to garner your business, right? But you'll find that news a little bit easier to stomach once you know that even with a little hesitation to selling before, selling your home right now and at the price you want, it's not only possible, but it's highly attainable for you, right? So I gave you a couple of tidbits that you need to be aware of. So I just want to give you a little bit more detail before I scare you off completely, right? I'm telling you, I just really like to be open and transparent about the market and then provide real solutions. So no worries, all is not lost, and we will get to that. Now, first thing I mentioned was the market is gearing for a correction in home values. Well, we've been at the peak here and we're seeing for a while, and we're seeing some significant slowing in the market nationally, right? Now, there shouldn't be anything that kind of causes you to hit the panic button. As with any market, things go up and down. If you look at over, the 4-year cycles, that's how real estate moves in 4-year cycles. We've experienced, over the past few decades, tremendous swings in value. The most significant being from 2008 to 2012 when we had that tremendous crash, right? Those that couldn't ride it out lost their home, and those that could, it simply were stuck in their home for several years. And that may even sound familiar, right? Now, from 2012 to 2016 is when we had that significant rise to the top again. And it's important to note that the 2016 values finally reached a peak that they hit in 2008 before the crash. Now, imagine that homeowner that didn't sell their home in mid-2018 because they were going to wait a year or two and just get every dollar at the market. They just had it figured out, right? Well, not only did the market drop, as it always does, up and down, but it hit a rock-hard bottom. And just now, 8 years later, rose to that top value again. So it took 8 years from 2008 to 2016 to get back to that same number they could have sold for way back in 2008 when it was actually considered a lot more money as well, right? So what I'm trying to drill home here is that you shouldn't mistakenly think that home values are always going up, or worse, that they will continue going up from this point. There's always a peak before a valley, and all indication right now tells us to at least advise homeowners of the coming changes, looking back, from about 2017 and into the near future. Right now, what I can say is we have to look at things on a local or a micro market level as well. So here in our area, we have strong jobs. All of our industries are great, and employment is rising in Frederick County. Basically, we just have very strong workforces in all industries. So people are able to pay their bills, pay their mortgages, and purchase homes. So what we may see here is a hold at price levels where, let's just say where those more exorbitant price ranges or price spikes are in those metropolitan areas. So there's where you'll see more of a significant correction, right? So to be quite honestly, what we're seeing in the real estate market right now is more of a return to normalcy. Now, the second fact, since the markets have started to slow and homes are sitting much longer than people have anticipated, like I said, which has something to do with the rising interest rates, but also with people being a little too aggressive with their pricing strategy. So with most things, timing is everything. Unfortunately, many homeowners feel like when they price their home high and then end up dropping it, that they're losing $20,000 or more when they decide to sell their house because their agent hasn't been able to educate them on a more competitive pricing strategy matched with expert marketing. Right now, you may have been hesitant to sell your home because another agent you spoke with or your realtor friend couldn't give you any real assurances on selling your home and finding your next home in such a limited market, right? Well, that's because real estate has changed, and how the actual business, the transaction is being done is pretty much the same, but how we get to that point, how we get to that closing table has changed, drastically. See, most agents treat your home and you as a commodity, just another unit, another sale, and wouldn't know how to find their next client or your next home or market your home if they aren't benefiting from the MLS and old school ways, word of mouth and door knocking and cold calling, right? And if they had to start over from scratch in this digital world, they'd be lost. So that's where I come in, right? There's a new, better way to do these things, and obviously choosing a better, more efficient route can get your home sold for top dollar quickly while netting you even more money than you originally thought possible. Always best to sell your home when it's worth more, not when it's worth less, right? And you certainly don't want to chase a downturn in the market if it continues to slide, as the industry insiders and recent data is telling us, right? The third fact, as we discussed, when you're selling any investment you own, regardless if it's a house or a portfolio of stocks, a classic car, any high-end collectible, it's best to sell when the market is at its peak, right? So, and also you don't want to get stuck on any mental blocks or what we call paralysis by analysis, or, folding your arms in protest because the market isn't perfect or the way you want it, because that's the fastest way to lose a lot of money, by missing the perfect time to liquidate your asset, right? So there's no question that in most areas of the country, home values have recovered to the prices you could have received in 2008, right? And again, according to the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, we've seen a slowing of the market and of all four quadrants of the United States. This is not an opinion, but this is based on actual real estate data, right? People smarter than me definitely pass that on, and I'm passing it on to you. Now, with that being said, it's important to remember that thousands of homes in Maryland have sold, okay, since you were originally thought about putting your house on the market, and hundreds have sold right in your local market. So yes, homes are selling in our particular market, and honestly, our particular market seems to be holding fairly strong. So like I said, all is not lost, and we do have solutions. So you probably have one of the nicer homes in the neighborhood. So the issue was likely not the real estate market, but actually how am I going to take all this value I've gained, find the exact home I want, and make the right decision when it's time, right? Timing is everything. Well, we'll get to the second part of that in just a minute. So we went into detail about a few of the facts that I feel like every homeowner needs to be aware of, regardless if they're going to list now or later down the road. But one very important issue, and it's probably why you're here, that I want to go over, right? And that's getting top dollar for your home. And I have to be honest with you. Most people think they can just set the price at whatever they want, or at least the highest side of that price range, and the market will be so crazy, or it's so crazy that they'll get a bidding war going because that's what they've seen. But in this current market, you know, that make me move, all cash, overbid offer, it's pretty much gone. Like I said, there's a new market now, so we have to deal with that. We have to work in the market we're in, right? All of those buyers have already bought those homes, right? So there's now a new buyer type in the market. So I would say that selling your house for whatever you want right now, or getting a crazy overbid, is a little bit of a misnomer. People want to move into turnkey, ready to move in homes, and they will pay a premium for that, but it has to be the perfect home, right? It's got to be perfect. So there's really only two things that we can pay attention to, right, that really dictate the price of a home, and that's the market and the appraisal, right? So we have to deal with the imperial facts, right? That's the things that we can look up and justify based off of a number and relative to the upgrades and renovations and what other homes have sold for in the market, right? Because as I said, those cash buyers are pretty much gone, and they were just cash backed offers. They actually refinanced into a deal right after that, right? So someone could offer you the most money you could imagine in your life for a home, but they still have to have a loan, and that loan is going to come with an appraisal, right? So that's not something we can control. That's what the lender requires in order to release those funds, right? So in order to get the most for your home, it's got to be at the top of the market as far as condition, location, upgrades, and things of that nature, right? Neighborhood even, right? Now, we can get you, the most, but it may be the most for where your home is at the market. So again, it's not always necessarily the price, but it's its exposure and how you can get the right buyer in front of it. It's the marketing. Now, you're going to need a realtor. Actually, let me say this before I say that. Your personality is going to be important with your realtor. You need somebody who meshes with you and who can calm the storm, who can kind of explain things easily for you. And it's important that chemistry is there. And I at least feel like chemistry should be there. And next is those marketing skills, right? It's not just listing a home. You need something to attach to this home to drive eyes to it so that your marketing can really, really, get maximum exposure. And for me, it's my perfect home finder program. My perfect home finder program, right? I constantly have a pool of buyers looking for any type of home or any level because I market and lead generate constantly. So again, using that target marketing approach, I try to put my buyers in front of just the homes that they want so we don't sift through all the overpriced and passed over homes. And I do the same thing for my sellers. We should only put homes in front of the most opportune buyers, because everyone comes into the market as a buyer first. You need good marketing, right? So it's important to drive eyes to a home or a listing or a service. In my case, a service, right? I use marketing, and that's actually how I got in front of you, right? I offered you some information or some service that you deemed valuable first. And instead of just saying, hey, I'm Mr. Realtor, I've been doing this for 30 years, use me, right? I use what's called a multi-pronged approach. That's multi-pronged approach using digital marketing, social media, Facebook and Google ads, direct mail, maybe even retargeting. Again, that's what I like to call target marketing, right? So that same approach can be used to sell your home fast, where I actually build an avatar of your ideal buyer and I push your home in front of those people, right? So in addition to just being on the MLS where people can just stroll by and see your home and decide to buy or not, or the buyer can sell it out for us, right? There's actually a particular type of buyer for your home, and we want to get your home in front of them only, right? So let's say for your home, I would say the perfect buyer for your home would be what I call a move-up buyer, right? It'd be a married couple, mid-30s and up, credit score around 730 plus, income 150 to 170 up, at least middle school age kids, probably 2 or more, right? Highly employed individuals. Now, it's probably the most powerful part of this target marketing approach, because we then go to the data and list brokers out there and we purchase a list of all the people who meet that criteria we set, and we market your home using that multi-pronged approach to only those people, right? That's, again, direct mail, reverse prospecting, digital marketing, social media marketing. So we can say, hey, the home of your dreams is out here and you need to come get it. So here's what that looks like. First of all, when we decide to accept your listings, there's several key marketing plans that we begin to get your home sold fast and for top dollar. First of all, we need to know those specific home features and amenities so we can identify those, because that's what we're going to to feature. That's what we're going to use to push in front of everyone in all our ads and copy. Now, from there, I get together with my marketing team and we do all your copywriting, all your online and offline ad markup, and also we link up with the best print companies so we can get you high quality mailers to go out. Again, we use that target marketing approach, and all those custom materials are created, and then marketing broadcasts go out to all the affluent buyers in my buyers in waiting list. So, even before your home hits the market, or even if you're not you need time to get it ready, we're already creating interest in your home from buyers just waiting for you to go live. At the same time, that affluent buyer marketing list gets its own marketing campaign, and we combine that with our offline and online type techniques. So offline would be that direct marketing with access to vids and pics through a QR code. Online would be digital marketing, social media ads, and some of the things we run. And this bounces our marketing between platforms and makes sure we are in the buyer's phone whenever they open it as often as possible. Another powerful tool we employ is reverse prospecting, right? So let's say a home sold in your neighborhood. That means only one person was able to buy that home, which also means there's still plenty of buyers out there looking for a home in your neighborhood. So this allows us to create a massive coming soon campaign of ready, willing, and able buyers, right? And just to have a little fun and create a little excitement amongst your neighbors, because they may even have friends or colleagues who want to buy and they already live in a home similar to yours. So who can help us sell it better than someone who lives in the house? So this is what we do. This is our pricing competition event where we invite your neighbors to tell us what they think your home will close for. And the person who shares the home on their social media and with their friends and gets closest to the closing price will win a bottle of their favorite wine or champagne or a gift card to someone really nice. I really like to work with my sellers on prize, but they'll get a really great prize and we'll just create some excitement and make it a little bit of fun. We are, again, increasing that exposure and making sure your home gets in front of the right kind of buyer, right? So you can have some confidence in knowing that when we work together, we're going to leverage all of those high-level marketing techniques to get your home the most exposure, right? To drive that price where you want it. You don't want to price at the top. You want to price competitively to make the home more attractive and give it all the exposure you can. Even the marketing will attract it and the price will make it attractive, right? And then we can kind of get you close to that top dollar. Don't want to miss that. So just keep that in mind. It's really important. Now, you have to have facts and you see a little bit about target marketing, what target marketing is about. Hopefully you can make an educated decision. And it only makes sense to go with an agent who can combine all of those things and get your home sold for the right price, even in this market. Obviously, for what I do, the state requires me to have a real estate license, but I'm more of a marketing specialist that is required to have a license. I would never classify what I do as something a typical real estate agent does. I'm interested in selling your home, not listing it in hopes that a random buyer will come by and then their agent will do everything to get it sold. So if you are sincere about selling your property quickly or on your own timeline, while ensuring you get every single penny you deserve, then this is something that, will be of interest to you. Based on what I've already covered, it's clear that now is the best time to sell. The big question really is who can make that happen for you immediately when the market is signaling a slowdown? Well, I feel confident that I can get your home sold in a win-win situation, and we can make it happen immediately without all the typical hassle. I mean, you're already more than halfway through the listing presentation, and this is the awkward hard part. Everything else is pretty easy, right? However, I have to be clear that this is selling season, and this particular marketing approach requires a significant financial investment on my part, so I only end up accepting maybe 30 to 40% of the homeowners that I do come in contact with, so that's important for you to know. Also, as this is prime selling season, my marketing is attracting more and more sellers, and I'm highly competitive, so I don't really want to lose a lot of listings. So I would like to push that approval rate up, and I would like for all of my prospective clients to be a part of me being highly successful in this market. So I'm actually offering my platinum marketing package at the gold marketing fee, and you can just check out the listing package I either emailed or sent over to you to kind of see what that is. And again, I don't regard my compensation as commission. That's what a commodity agent does, and that's why homes sit, and it's a very old school approach. And we both need to be invested in this transaction for it to work. So I have no problem investing my own funds to ensure, your home is properly marketed and we get the desired result. Now, in the spirit of full disclosure, I'm sure you understand that we don't go out and publish our approach in writing for the entire world to see. This is a proprietary system, and agents are very monkey see, monkey do, but we can get your home top dollar on the MLS. We sell properties for top dollar off the MLS, and often for more than, what the owner originally expected. Yes, it's completely different than anything you've seen before, right? But that's because before your home gets on the market or in front of any potential buyer, I use demographic data, market trends, list sources, and a number of other tactics that I've already mentioned to build the custom buyer for your property. And that's why marketing for your home becomes so easy for me, because I've already created a pool of buyers who are looking to beat the competition if it's off the MLS, or they're just waiting for you to go live if it's on the MLS. We have a super huge, massive coming soon target marketing approach where we market to those fluent buyers who are looking at your kind of property in your area. So yes, it's actually normal for you to be a little bit skeptical. I understand it. I encourage it. Every client I've got to the closing table kind of started out that way, but it can all be explained, and it's a great technique. Now, maybe the market hasn't met your expectations when it comes to your next home. An agent you spoke to wasn't able to clearly explain how to sell your home and get into your next home. But I want to allow that to stand in the way of you taking advantage of the market, and I know you won't either, right? We have a system to get this done. Now, I also know you'll absolutely love this target marketing approach, and it just smokes the old way of selling a home, right? Just the old way of selling your home and buying a new home, because that's always a little bit of a dance, right? So we simply need to get together for about 20 minutes so we can hammer out the details and terms. I can get a good look at your home and get all your questions answered, and discuss your closing goals and start thinking about where you may want to move to, right? If you haven't already handled that. I can ensure you have plenty of time to find a place and make that move so you don't have to worry about feeling like you're in a rush at all, right? We will make sure everything lines up perfectly for you, and that's a promise. So how do I back that up? Now, with what I like to call the boldest guarantee in real estate, right? My promise is simple. I won't waste your time. I just ask that you don't waste mine. As a matter of fact, if my marketing doesn't work and we don't have your home under contract in 27 days or less, I will pay you $5,000, right? Not only that, I'll put it in writing and have it added to our listing agreement to be sure that I'm held to it. So what happens next? Well, there's no cost, there's no obligation whatsoever for us to get together and just discuss some options, right? Before we meet, I would like to just start thinking about the best time for you to close on your home, where you'd like to move to, how much time you think you'll need to get everything taken care of. It's best to have this all worked out to ensure that I can meet exactly what you're looking for in an agent. I intend to have you as a client, so I really want to know everything that you expect from your agent and everything you need. Now, if needed, I can even help you with finding your next place. Come again with that unlisted properties through the Perfect Home Finder, right? Nobody else knows these homes are for sale, and in order to find your next home, I'll go ahead and invest my own funds, my own marketing funds, and find you a ready, willing, and able seller to get you in your home on your terms, right? And that way you don't have to worry about rent back or home sale contingencies and things like that. We work all that stuff out beforehand, and everybody moves on their own terms. So here's what happens next. You just give me a call, we set up a time for us to get together and handle everything over the phone, as I haven't seen your house yet to know if it's even a project I can accept. So let's set up a time for me to come stop out. I do work evenings, I do work weekends too, so I'm sure we can find something that makes sense for us to get together, okay? Now, you can give me a call now at 301-455-0535. or email me at sgill@yourmdlifestyle.com. Let's just get your home sold. And if you skipped all the way to the end of this video just to find out what this was all about, here's the scoop, okay? I'm interested in selling and helping you get top dollar for your home and helping you sell immediately while the market is near its peak. And if you need a new home, I will find off-market opportunities for you that no one else knows is for sale using my Perfect Home Finder program. I'm also offering my full platinum marketing package at my gold marketing fee for the rest of the month to all our local residents, okay? I do really believe in creating win-win situations, so I'm always offering my boldest guarantee in real estate, where I will pay you $5,000 if I do not have your home under contract in 27 days or less, right? I'd like for you to think about an approximate closing date, how long it will take you to move out before we get together, right? And if that interests you, you need a little bit and you need a little bit more info, then go back to the beginning of this video and give it a watch, right? Watch the whole thing. Then give me a call so we can get some more information about how this whole thing works. We have to check out your home, right? And we can really apply some of these tactics like I talked about in the video. Now, I'm positive my marketing got in front of you for a reason, and I'm probably not the agent you were exactly looking for. And you didn't even know you needed me. But now that you see me, now that you see this marketing technique, I'm sure you know you need it. So let's get you to the closing table. Give me a call at 301-455-0535. Thanks a lot, Solomon Gill. Talk to you soon.